One of the key to a successful presentation is a well-planned and organized content. Being organized means that your audience can easily follow what you are saying and understand your presentation. It also ensures that your audience sticks with you throughout the entire session. Welcome to another episode of Amazing Sticky Presentations, inspired by Sticky Spy, bringing you tips, ideas, design for better presentations, turning your ideas into lasting impressions. Hi, Tian Teck here with Sticky Spy. In this video, I want to talk about the importance of organized content in presentations. And I will share with you 5 tips to keep your presentation content organized. Before I forget, if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing for future videos. In the past 20 years, I have attended many presentation sessions. Some were really good, but unfortunately, there are many that were bad. Bad because you tend to get lost somewhere into the presentation. You also get irritated because what was shown on the slides were not what the presenter was speaking about. So the experience that I felt were not pleasant. I was also disappointed having allocated time to attend the session where I could have chosen to do other things. Many of these disappointments can be avoided if the content were to be more organized. Of course, there were times that you feel good and energized after attended a presentation session. Well, in this case, you could say that the presentation content was well planned and organized. You know that it was well organized when you fully enjoyed listening to the presenter and that you were able to easily follow through and have understood the content. A good preparation is always needed to get organized. Let me share with you now the 5 things that I do to organize my content. I do this for my general presentation and I do this for my presentations that I use for teaching in my workshops. Very often, we have more content that we possibly could handle. It becomes overwhelming at times. Breaking down contents into parts will enable us to rearrange the content into a more logical order for the presentation. When I break down my content into parts, I can switch in and out the parts depending on the objective of my presentation, the audience that I'm going to present to, and the time that I have for the presentation. Objectives, your audience, and time. These are important things that we need to consider when we are planning for the presentation. Sometimes, not everything is important. Actually, I want to correct that. I should say most times, not everything is important. When we own the information, we become very protective of those information and we always feel that everything is important. I'm sure that you have heard of this saying, if everything is important, then nothing is important. I think that's very true. So to get better organized, we need to decide what's important to include in the presentation content based on time allocated for the presentation and relevance. Having divided your content into parts in step 1 makes switching out irrelevant content easier. We are human beings, and being human, we have this tendency to put ourselves first. It's always about me, about what I like, where I want to go. That's not what your audience want to hear from you. Your audience is not interested in what you like. They want to know how you can help them. This is one mistake that I make very often. So, we should put our audience first. Organize content to meet your audience requirement. When planning for your presentation content, ask yourself this question. What is it that I can share that will help my audience? Structure and organize content for your audience, not for yourself. It is important to let your audience know what to expect in your presentation. If it's a short 20 minutes presentation, then you could just mention it briefly at the beginning of your presentation. However, if it's a longer 90 minutes presentation or a presentation organized for a full day training session, then it's good to elaborate a little into the agenda. Keep the agenda brief and limit it to only 4 to 6 items. You might consider having an agenda slide as part of your presentation. For a short presentation, using slide might not be really necessary if the subject matter is not so complex. For longer presentation, it is advisable to use slides when you present. People can remember better when they see and listen. Having said that, you should ensure that your slides are easy to follow, that your slides are designed for seeing and not for reading. I want to caution you on this point. Do not put all the words you want to say on the slide. This will make your slide wordy and difficult to follow. Using slides will help you stay on track of your presentation content. Using slides makes it easier for you to stick to the order that you have planned. It cues you for what to talk about next. It also keeps your audience engaged and help them remember key points from your presentation easier. So, these are the general steps that I take to organize my presentation content. If you are already a seasoned presenter, you might have your own ways to organize your presentation content. But if you are new or looking for alternative methods, try the above 5 steps. It worked for me, and I'm sure it will work for you too. Question for you: what are the steps that you take to organize your presentation content? Let me know in the comments below. Before I say goodbye, do give this video a like and consider subscribing to this channel for more videos. Until my next video, enjoy your presentation planning. Bye bye.